strap yourselves in, Blues fans, because I'm giving you my unsolicited and probably unwanted opinion on what the Blues team should look like. And I've chosen a team so strong that even the great Laurie Daly can't or shouldn't fumble. In fact, I think this team can get the coveted whitewash. 3-0. I actually think this team can get 3-0 against Queensland. And you know what? I know every fan and their dog has an opinion on who should be picked and what the team should look like. But me, you gotta understand, I've gone and done the research, I've looked at the statistics, I've developed the scientific... Nah, I didn't do any of that. I've just picked on common sense. So block your Queensland supporting mates, because if they live in New South Wales and support Queensland, they're traitors. And let's dive into my very scientific selection process, where stats meet common sense, and passing the sniff test as a player is a legitimate measure of worthiness. Will I pick Nathan Cleary? Will I pick Brian To'o, who gets that wing? Will I pick players on form? Wait, does anyone pick players on form anymore? I don't know. But let's find out who I've chosen player by player. Because if this team can't win the series, let alone 3-0, New South Wales just does not get Origin. Dylan Edwards. Look, Dylan Edwards and the Panthers at large aren't having their greatest season. Edwards' stats are a lot down on last year, but Edwards is the incumbent. He's been part of the last 5 grand finals and has played spectacularly for a long period of time. Last year for New South Wales, he killed it. He hasn't done anything to warrant him being dropped this year. On top of that, having Cleary and Yeo in the team only works to the Blues' advantage. And no, that's not a spoiler. You all know that Cleary and Yeo are getting chosen. And look, here's my hot take. Even if Edwards wasn't available, I would not pick Tedesco at fullback anyway. That role would have to go to Papi, and I think he's the forgotten man in all this. Brian To'o. Look, To'o has been so reliable for the Blues in both attack and defense. He's the quintessential winger, and everyone else is trying to emulate him. He runs so hard when bringing the ball back. He's literally an extra forward, and he can finish a mean try. Plus, he's been so consistent for the Blues in every game he has played. This is an easy pick. I would argue he gets picked even if he had no games under his belt. Latrell Mitchell. Queensland hate him. They hate tackling him. They hate running at him. He intimidates them every time he has played. Queensland has been shook. He's an imposing figure at centre and lives for the big moments like we saw against the Broncos. I would argue that the only more imposing or dominant centre in Origin we've seen is GI. And that's saying something. Stephen Crichton. Critter proves time and time again why his position in the team should never ever be questioned. Andrew Johns suggested that he could be left out of the team if Turbo was to play and Best was to be at centre. I don't know what the heck Andrew Johns was talking about. Look, you were a great player, but your punditry is not that great. And look, I'm sorry, but Critter, for me, is in the automatically chosen category with someone like Payne Haas. I don't even need to provide evidence. The bloke is that good. Just see what he did to Canberra for the Bulldogs on the weekend. Zac Lomax. This one was a tough one. Look, Lomax has been out for a few weeks with a foot injury, and there are a couple of options here. We could have gone with Turbo, could have gone with Kiraz. There's even a couple of other younger wingers I could see playing there. But I couldn't choose them. It's hard to see Turbo or Kiraz there. Kiraz to debut at Suncorp is probably not a good idea. And Turbo looks like he's playing on half a leg. And last year, Lomax was incredible for the Blues, both as a winger and kicking. And I think he deserves another chance to show everybody what he can do on the biggest stage. Plus, in a really, really, really bad Eels team, he has been a standout alongside Moses. And I really couldn't leave him out. Sorry, Kiraz, but you'll get your chance. Mitchell Moses. Speaking of the Eels, another tough decision here, but I had to go with Mitchell Moses. I love Luai, and he's one of my favorite characters in the game. He brings the energy, he brings the creativity, speed, and so much more to the 5'8" role that sort of intangible. But I couldn't leave Moses out, especially after his stirring performance last year at Suncorp. He was simply excellent, and him playing 5'8", not having to orchestrate the game, means he can pick his moments and use his running game to great effect against a tired Queensland pack. Plus, I think he's probably the best short side player in the competition. Nathan Cleary. If the NRL had a Steph Curry, Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nathan Cleary would be it. He's a remarkable player who has won 4 premierships in a row at halfback and has played in the last 5 grand finals. He has every tool a halfback needs and uses them exceptionally, almost better than anyone else. I think he's a future immortal and gets automatic selection alongside the likes of Haas and Crichton. And look, everyone says that Moses was excellent last year, and he was. I completely agree. But who's to say that Cleary wouldn't have stepped up like Moses did? Think about it. Payne Haas. I refuse to discuss why Haas gets chosen. He just does forever and for eternity. He's the first picked and doesn't need to justify it. He could come out and play poorly for a whole season and would still deserve to get picked. I think he's going to be one of the best forwards, if not the best forward, to ever play rugby league. He gets chosen, and there's no argument here whatsoever. Reece Robson. I've chosen Reece Robson simply because he did such a great job last year. I don't think he has been that great for the Cowboys, but he also hasn't really done anything to deserve being dropped, and no one is playing out of their skin to get chosen in his place. Look, all he needs to do is come out and continue to get clean service out of dummy half and let Moses and Cleary do all the work. There isn't anyone else playing that well to warrant removing Robson. I'm a big fan of Wade Egan from the Warriors, but I don't think he's ready to debut at 9, especially up there at Suncorp. Mitch Barnett. Barnett is tough and uncompromising as a prop. He's fit and he leads from the front, and he's the perfect prop alongside Haas to shore up the defense with his unbreakable wall. But he's also a hard worker and will take as many carries as he needs to lay a platform for his halves. He's leading the Warriors excellently. They're coming second at the moment. He did an admirable job in Game 3 last year, and he has continued his club form into 2025 at the Wires. He will do a stellar job. Liam Martin. This guy is always on a mission to destroy someone. He has the mongrel, the fight, that vigor, and he will never back down. He's forever busy, and he has never let New South Wales down, and not to mention, he's the reigning Clive Churchill medalist. He deserves it, and he will tear up whichever edge he finds himself on, or even in the middle. This guy is he's like a missile, launching himself at everything that runs on that field. Angus Crichton. This dude is the reigning Wally Lewis medalist for his performance in last year's series. He runs hard, tackles hard, and is uncompromising. He also destroyed DCE on that left edge last year. I'm sure DCE still has nightmares of Crichton running at him. His combination with Martin in the second row is excellent, and both deserve to be chosen again. They both play 80 minutes, and they are both honestly right up there as some of the best second rows we've seen for New South Wales. Isaah Yeo. Isaah Yeo should almost be up there with Payne Haas as one of the first chosen for the New South Wales team. This guy can play everywhere and do everything. Need him to play prop? No problem. Want him to play lock to link up with the halves? Why not? Had a centre get injured and need someone there? Call Isaah Yeo. Not to mention his leadership, skill, durability, and class are some of the best we've ever seen in this position. I think this is a no-brainer, and anyone that's put him on the bench and hasn't started him isn't thinking. In fact, this guy should probably be captain. Connor Watson. Watson did a great job last year to fill in for Robson and was part of the winning Bradman Best try. He has looked fantastic for the Roosters and will do a great job for the Blues. He covers so many different positions as well in case of injury, and in Origin, you need a good utility like that on the bench. Don't forget, at one point, Billy Slater chose Selwyn Cobbo on the bench. Haumole Olakau'atu. While we haven't seen the best of Olakau'atu at Origin, we know how big and dangerous he can be on an edge in both attack and defense. With Cleary and Moses in the halves, I think they can get the best out of him when the defense is tired. He can also play up the middle and has a big motor, plays 80 minutes for Manly. Terrell May. Now this one, I don't get. How is this guy not in everyone's team? In 2025, he's been playing close to 80 minutes for the Tigers and putting up Payne Haas like numbers. His tackle efficiency is great, his meters gained are great, he has an offload, has a passing game, and he's super fit. Imagine what he could do if he was told to go all out for 30 to 40 minutes. And look, did everybody forget what he did to the Roosters off the bench? This guy should definitely be in the team and can cover if there are injuries because he can play 80 minutes. Spencer Leniu. You need crazy eyes in the team. This dude is built for Origin. He runs hard, he runs fast, and I don't think this bloke knows how to take a step back. He will be the first there supporting a teammate in a melee. In fact, he'll probably start the melee. So look, he tore Queensland's defense up last year And he's in good form for the Roosters. He's actually been playing really, really well. Daly will bring him on when the defense is tired, and he's literally going to rip and tear. No, like, I mean literally rip and tear. I'm worried he's going to rip someone's arm off. He's just an impact forward that will be sent on a kamikaze mission. Now, 18th man. I know everyone's probably asking, why is Hudson Young not in the team? Look, Hudson Young is my 18th man. He has a big motor, he can cover many positions, and he's a try-scoring machine. But it's like Laurie Daly said, there are going to be some very good players that miss out. Like, Luai is missing out, and I don't think he deserves to be dropped, but that's just the way the context of the team is. And Hudson Young is another one of them. You know, Kiraz as well. He will get his chance again, and he'll do a great job. But I just think that the team I've chosen with Olakau'atu in there instead of Hudson Young is a stronger, bigger, more impact-driven team, and that's why I've left Hudson Young out, even though I think he's playing great. That's it. That's my New South Wales team. Let me know what you think. I know I'm probably going to get poo-pooed and my opinions are going to get shut down, but that's exactly what I want to see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you did like the video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We've got heaps more content coming. Thank you very much, and be sure to watch one of these videos if you do want to watch any of our other content. Have a good one, guys. Up the Blues.